Ladies, good morning. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and get comfortable. Today, we're going to have a very honest conversation. I'm Amanda Brown, and I want to share something that took me a long time to figure out. It took me a good 60 years to realize a simple truth. Happiness is not what we acquire, but what we let go of. I remember one morning, about 10 years ago, I woke up with a heavy heart. It was a Tuesday. Rain was falling outside my little house in Vermont. My schedule for the day was packed with 1,000 tasks. Drive my granddaughter to ballet, stop by Costco for the week's groceries, make a casserole for the church bake sale, call my sister in Arizona who was complaining about something again, and, of course, make it to the town beautification committee meeting. I sat on the edge of my bed, looking at my daily planner, filled with my tiny handwriting, and felt a wave of exhaustion mixed with quiet desperation wash over me. I was doing everything right. I was a good mother, a caring grandmother, a responsible neighbor, a loving sister. I said yes to every request, apologized if something went wrong, and tried to be perfect in every way. But for some reason, it wasn't bringing me happiness. That day, I did something I had never done before. I took a pen and crossed out half the items on my list. I called my daughter and said, "Honey, I can't take Lucy to ballet today. Something urgent has come up." I called the committee and said I wouldn't be coming. And then I put on my old raincoat, rubber boots, and went for a walk in the rain. Just because, with no destination. I walked through the wet streets, breathing in the smell of damp earth, and thought about how many years I had lived by someone else's rules, how much energy I had spent trying to meet someone else's expectations. From that day on, I began my own personal detox, a detox from the habits that were stealing my joy. Today, I want to share with you 10 things that I and many wise women my age have given up to finally find peace and become truly happy. I promise the last habit is the most important, and it's the one that can change everything. If you're ready for an honest conversation that could make your golden years truly golden, stay with me. Habit 1, trying to please everyone. Oh, ladies, this is probably the heaviest burden we carry for most of our lives. The habit of saying yes when everything inside you is screaming no. We do it out of politeness, out of fear of offending someone, out of a desire to be good. We agree to babysit the grandkids when we have no energy, take on extra work at the volunteer organization, and cook dinner for the whole family when all we wanted was to read a book in silence. My friend Susan from Ohio is a living example of this. She was always the life of the party, the dependable rock for her 3 children and 7 grandchildren. If someone called at 2 a.m. with a problem, Susan would rush to help. If 20 dozen cupcakes were needed for a school bake sale, she would stay up all night to get it done. She used to tell me, "Amanda, they're counting on me. I can't let them down." As a result, by age 65, she had turned into a tired, irritable woman with high blood pressure and constant migraines. One day, after another breakdown where she burst into tears right in the supermarket because she couldn't decide between 2 brands of tomato sauce, that's how exhausted she was from making endless decisions for others, her doctor told her something simple. "Susan, you can't pour from an empty pitcher. Your pitcher is empty." It was a revelation for her. She started small. She learned to say, "Let me think about it and get back to you." This phrase gave her time to assess her own energy and desires. Then she mastered a polite but firm no. "That sounds wonderful, but unfortunately I won't be able to make it this time." It was hard at first. Her children were hurt, her friends were surprised, but eventually they got used to it. And Susan? She blossomed. She found time for herself, for her hobbies. She signed up for a pottery class she had dreamed of her whole life. Understand this, my dears. After 60, your time and energy are your most precious currency. Stop giving them away to everyone. Learn to say no without guilt. It's not selfishness, it's self-preservation. Those who truly love you will understand and accept your boundaries, and those who get offended were likely valuing your utility, not you. Your peace of mind is worth the risk of disappointing them. Habit 2. Apologizing for your existence. Ladies, let's be honest. How many times a day do you say the word sorry? Sorry to bother you. Sorry, I have a question. Oh, sorry, excuse me. We women, especially of my generation, were taught to be convenient, unobtrusive, to not take up too much space. We apologize for having an opinion, for having needs, for simply being here. I remember working in an office many years ago. My boss was a good man, but very busy. Every time I needed to go to him with a question, I would start my sentence with, "Sorry to bother you, I'll only be a second." I was preemptively downplaying the importance of my own words, as if apologizing for taking up his precious time. Consequently, he treated my questions as something insignificant. One day, my colleague, a woman 20 years my senior and much wiser, pulled me aside and said, "Amanda, stop apologizing for doing your job. You have a right to ask questions. Your thoughts are important. Walk in there with your head held high and say, 'John, I have an idea that will increase our sales.'" I tried it. It was terrifying, but it worked. He listened to me with an attention I had never seen from him before. This habit of constant apologies doesn't just make us smaller in the eyes of others, it destroys our self-esteem. We start to believe that our opinion isn't as important, that our needs are secondary. We say sorry when someone steps on our foot on the bus. Give it up. Stop apologizing for living, breathing, and taking up space in this world. Replace sorry with thank you. Instead of "sorry I'm late," say "thank you for waiting." Instead of "sorry for talking so much," say "thank you for listening." It changes the entire dynamic. You shift from a position of guilt to one of gratitude and confidence. And never, ever apologize for your age, your wrinkles, or for not knowing something. Instead of, "Oh, sorry, I'm having a senior moment," say, "Give me a moment. I have so much on my mind." You have lived a long, full life. Your presence is a gift, not a reason for an apology. Habit 3. Clinging to the past and its material traces. My dears, over time, our homes turn into museums of our lives. Every object holds a memory. The dinnerware your mother gave you for your wedding, the dress you danced in with your husband 30 years ago, the box of drawings from your now-grown children. This is wonderful, but there's a fine line between cherishing memories and letting the past clutter your present. Smart women after 60 understand. To let something new into your life, you need to make space for it. And I'm not just talking about mental space, but physical space too. The habit of keeping everything just in case or out of guilt turns our homes into warehouses. My friend Eleanor from Texas faced this head-on. After her husband passed away, she was left alone in a huge 4-bedroom house. Every closet was packed, his old suits she couldn't part with, her special occasion outfits she hadn't worn in years, kitchen gadgets she'd used once, and endless boxes of miscellaneous stuff in the garage. Cleaning took up entire weekends, yet the house still felt heavy and oppressive. One day, she realized she was spending her precious energy not on living, but on maintaining things. She held a huge garage sale. She gave away what others could use and ruthlessly threw out the junk. She kept only what truly brought her joy, a couple of favorite armchairs, her collection of vintage vases, and photographs. She moved into a small, cozy condominium overlooking a park. And you know what? She told me, "Amanda, it was like I dropped 50 pounds off my shoulders. I can breathe again." Ladies, walk through your home. What you see, does it truly serve you today? Those stiletto heels you can't wear because of arthritis? The 10 identical frying pans when you only cook with one? The clothes that haven't fit you in years? Let it all go with gratitude for its service. Your home is not a warehouse for the past, but a space for your life today. Keep what you love and make room for peace, light, and new experiences. Habit 4. Chasing after fleeting youth. Let's be honest, no one loves wrinkles and gray hair. And the modern world constantly screams at us, be younger, hide your age. We're bombarded with ads for anti-aging creams, procedures, and trendy clothes that supposedly instantly rejuvenate. And many of us fall into this trap. We start chasing trends that don't suit us, wearing clothes that look ridiculous on a mature woman, and spending a fortune on cosmetics that promise the impossible. The habit of trying to look 20 years younger not only hurts our wallets, but also erodes our self-confidence. We start to see not ourselves in the mirror, but our flaws. We compare ourselves to younger women and always lose that battle. I went through this myself. There was a period when I was desperately trying to keep up with fashion. I bought a pair of ripped jeans because I saw them in a magazine. Ladies, it was a pathetic sight. I didn't feel stylish, I felt foolish. My wisdom and experience were at odds with this teenage clothing. A wise woman after 60 gives up this pointless race. She understands that elegance is ageless and that true beauty isn't the absence of wrinkles, but the glow of confidence. She stops chasing trends and finds her own unique style. She chooses clothes that fit her figure perfectly, not what's popular this season. Maybe it's a perfectly tailored blazer that accentuates her waist, or an A-line dress that flows gracefully. She finds her colors, the ones that make her skin glow and her eyes shine. She stops hiding her gray hair and instead turns it into a chic hairstyle that becomes her signature. She doesn't try to erase the traces of a life lived from her face, but enhances her natural beauty with light makeup. Instead of chasing youth, she invests in elegance, quality, and comfort. And you know what? That is precisely what makes her irresistible in the eyes of others and, most importantly, in her own. Worrying about what others think. Oh, how much time and energy we've wasted on this habit. We didn't buy the bright dress because what will the neighbors say? We didn't voice our opinion at the family meeting so as not to seem like a show-off. We gave up on the dream of learning to dance the salsa because it's ridiculous at my age. We lived our lives looking over our shoulders, concerned with the opinions of people who, frankly, couldn't have cared less about us. A friend of mine, Helen, had always dreamed of traveling solo. But her adult children would say, "Mom, it's dangerous. You're alone in a foreign country. What will people think?" And she postponed her dream year after year. At 68, she finally decided to do it. She bought a ticket to Italy without telling anyone. She spent a month there, wandering through Rome, enjoying the art of Florence, and tasting pasta in little villages. When she returned, she was a different person, radiant, confident, and incredibly happy. "You know, Amanda," she told me, "I realized that the only opinion that matters is my own. My only regret is that I didn't figure this out 20 years earlier." After 60, we finally earned the right to live for ourselves. We've lived for others long enough. For our parents, our husbands, our children, our bosses. It's time to stop seeking approval and start living according to our own desires. Want to dye your hair pink? Go for it. Want to sell the big house and move to a small apartment by the sea? Do it. Want to spend your evenings watching old movies instead of attending boring meetings? It's your right. Those who judge you are not your people, and your people will support you no matter what. Stop wasting your precious life trying to meet others' expectations. Start living so that at the end of the road, the only thing you might regret is not having started to live this way sooner. Ladies, we're halfway there. How are you feeling? Perhaps some of this has resonated with you. We've already talked about the importance of stopping to please everyone, apologizing without reason, clinging to clutter, chasing youth, and worrying about others' opinions. These are all habits we shed like old, tight clothes to finally feel free. But we still have 5 more steps to go, and they touch upon even deeper things: our health, our boundaries, our time, and our relationship with ourselves. So take another sip of your wonderful coffee and let's continue, because the best part is just beginning. Habit 6. Ignoring the whispers of your body. In our youth, we take our bodies for granted. We stay up all night, eat on the run, ignore minor aches and pains, thinking it'll go away on its own. And it does. But after 60, our body starts talking to us. At first in a whisper, and if we don't listen, it starts to scream. These whispers are the slight morning stiffness in your joints, the sudden fatigue in the middle of the day, the nagging back pain after working in the garden. The habit of ignoring these signals is one of the most dangerous. We tell ourselves, oh, it's just old age, and continue living as we did before, until the whisper turns into a serious diagnosis: arthritis, heart problems, diabetes. I've learned to listen to my body. If I wake up with a sore knee, I don't go for a strenuous walk. I do some light stretching instead. If my energy dips at 3 in the afternoon, I don't reach for a 5th cup of coffee. I allow myself a short 20-minute nap. If a certain food makes me feel bloated, I simply stop eating it, no matter how much I love it. Your body is your most loyal friend. It's not trying to fail you. It's trying to protect you. Giving up the habit of powering through it is an ultimate act of self-care. Start treating your health as your most valuable asset. Get regular checkups, even if nothing hurts. Get enough sleep. Eat not just healthy, but in a way that makes you feel good. Move every day, but choose an activity that brings you joy, not pain. Because a long and happy life is only possible in a healthy body that you love and listen to. Habit 7. Silently tolerating disrespect. Ladies, we grew up in a time when women were taught to be quiet and agreeable. We were taught not to rock the boat, to smooth over conflicts, and to swallow our hurt feelings for the sake of keeping the peace. If someone made an inappropriate joke, we laughed nervously. If we were interrupted, we fell silent. If our opinion was ignored, we pretended nothing happened. The habit of silently tolerating disrespect is destructive. It signals to others that it's okay to treat you that way. And over time, they start to take more and more liberties. It could be anything. The condescending tone of an adult son explaining how to use a smartphone as if you were a small child. A friend who is constantly late without bothering to apologize. Or even a husband who dismisses your ideas with, "Oh, what do you know about that?" After 60, we no longer have time for this. A wise woman gives up the role of the victim and begins to demand the respect she deserves. This doesn't mean you have to cause a scene. It means calmly and firmly setting boundaries. If you're interrupted, you can say, "Please let me finish my thought." If someone tells an offensive joke, you can choose not to laugh and instead look them in the eye and ask, "What do you mean by that?" If your plans are constantly disregarded, you can say, "It's important to me that my opinion is also considered." It takes courage, especially at first, but when you stop putting up with disrespect, a miracle happens. People start treating you differently. They start to listen to you, value your time, and consider your feelings. And those who are incapable of doing so, they simply fade out of your life. And believe me, that's for the best. Your dignity is non-negotiable. Habit 8. Overloading your days with busyness. Remember my daily planner from the beginning of the story? In our society, it's common to be proud of being busy. How are you? Oh, so busy. Absolutely no time. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, proving to ourselves and others that we are still needed and in demand. And those who are incapable of doing so, they simply fade out of your life. And believe me, that's for the best. Your dignity is non-negotiable. Habit 8. Overloading your days with busyness. Remember my daily planner from the beginning of the story? In our society, it's common to be proud of being busy. How are you? Oh, so busy. Absolutely no time. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, proving to ourselves and others that we are still needed and in demand. The habit of packing your calendar to the brim is a sure path to burnout, especially at our age. I used to think that the more I had to do, the more fulfilling my life would be. I said yes to everything. 3 volunteer projects, 5 committees, helping with the grandkids 4 times a week. I ran from one place to another, feeling important but utterly drained. In the evening, I didn't even have the energy to read a book. A wise woman understands that the quality of life isn't measured by the number of activities, but by the number of moments lived with pleasure. She rejects the cult of productivity and begins to appreciate doing nothing. She leaves air in her schedule, free time with no specific plans. What can you do instead of constantly rushing? Learn to enjoy the simple things. Sit on the porch with a cup of tea and watch the birds. Listen to your favorite music. Call a friend, not to solve a problem, but just to chat. Spend an hour in the garden. These moments are not wasted time. They are investments in your mental well-being. Reevaluate your commitments. What are you doing that truly brings you joy? And what are you doing out of habit or a sense of duty? Keep the first and mercilessly get rid of the second. Your life after 60 is not a sprint. It's a leisurely stroll. Enjoy the scenery. Habit 9. Carrying other people's problems. We women are natural-born rescuers. We want to help everyone. Our children with their marital problems, our friends with their financial difficulties, our neighbors with their unruly teenagers. We listen, give advice, worry, and sometimes even try to fix everything. The habit of shouldering everyone else's emotional baggage is one of the most exhausting. My sister in Arizona has always been like this. Her adult son constantly complained to her about his job, his wife, his lack of money. She would spend hours on the phone with him, trying to find solutions, and then lie awake at night worrying about him. Eventually, she ended up on the verge of a nervous breakdown herself. After 60, we must understand one crucial thing. We are not responsible for the happiness of other adults, even if they are our children. We can love them, support them, listen to them, but we cannot live their lives for them. Giving up the role of the rescuer isn't about being callous. It's about being wise. It's understanding that everyone has their own path and their own lessons to learn. Your job is not to solve other people's problems, but to protect your own peace. What does this mean in practice? Set time limits for complaint sessions. You can say, "Honey, I'm here to listen. I have 20 minutes. This shows you care, but you're not willing to be an emotional dumping ground for the entire evening. Don't offer solutions unless you're asked. Often, people just need to vent, not hear an action plan. Ask, do you just want me to listen, or are you looking for advice? And most importantly, learn to emotionally distance yourself. Empathize, but don't internalize. Their problems are their problems. Your life is your life. When you stop being a rescuer for everyone else, you'll have the strength to be a pillar for yourself. Habit 10, making excuses for yourself because of your age. And here it is, the last and most insidious habit to break. It's the habit of telling yourself, "I'm too old for that." And I'm not talking about skydiving, but about the things that sustain our vitality. I'm too old to learn something new. I'm too old to exercise. I'm too old to make new friends. This phrase is the ultimate excuse for inaction. It allows us to give up, to stop growing, and to slowly fade away. We use age as a shield to hide from effort, from discomfort, from life itself. I've seen it many times. Women who retire and stop learning anything new, their minds quickly dull. Women who stop moving because my joints aren't what they used to be. Their bodies quickly become weak and frail. Women who stop socializing because all my old friends have moved away. They sink into loneliness. A wise woman rejects this habit. She understands that age is not a sentence. It's just a number. She continues to challenge herself. Maybe she starts learning Spanish online so she can travel. Maybe she signs up for Tai Chi or senior yoga to maintain flexibility and balance. Maybe she joins a book club or a volunteer organization to meet new people. She understands that a brain that learns and a body that moves age much more slowly. To refuse something new under the pretext of age is to voluntarily lock yourself in a prison. Don't do it. Keep growing, moving, learning, and connecting. Life doesn't end at 60. For those who refuse to give up, it might just be getting started. So, we've reached the end of our conversation, my dears. 10 habits, 10 chains we can break free from to live our best years with ease, joy, and dignity. Giving up on trying to please everyone, stopping the apologies for our existence, clearing our homes and hearts of the past, ending the race against youth, and ceasing to worry about others' opinions. Listening to our bodies, demanding respect, valuing our time, not carrying others' burdens, and most importantly, never telling ourselves, I'm too old. This isn't just a list. It's a declaration of freedom. The freedom to be yourself. A wise, experienced, strong woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to live by her own rules. This stage of life isn't the sunset. It's the golden afternoon. If only we allow ourselves to get rid of everything that's holding us back from shining. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a friend who might need to hear this. I'm Amanda Brown. Take care of yourselves and cherish one another. You deserve it. See you soon.